Hi. I feel like if you only watch one of my videos, it should be this one. This might possibly be the most important one of all. It's something that, like many things, I'm always thinking about in the back of my head whenever you walk through the door and talk about whatever is going on in your life. And it determines really how you handle what you are talking to me about. It really determines how you handle everything. My name is Jennifer Spring. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist in Southeastern Connecticut, and today's episode is about mindset. So I looked up the definition of mindset, and it is the established set of beliefs, perceptions, and attitudes held by someone. It's everything. It's your energy, it's your aura, it's what you bring to the table, it's your language, it's what you say and how you say it, it's what you don't say and how you don't say it. It's your posture, it's how you stand, it's the look in your eye, it's the expression on your face, it's the reactions that you have to adversity when bad things happen to you. And it's the reaction you have to victory when the good things happen to you. It determines how you cope with everything. It determines how you see other people. It determines how you see life, your life, and the world. And it determines if you see a glass half empty or half full. It really is everything. Before I go any further, and before I always forget at the end, so please go to my homepage and subscribe and help me get to my goal. All right, moving on. People with a positive mindset are more likely to have better relationships, to sleep better, to be more successful, to have more money, to be less sick throughout their lives, and to actually live longer compared to pessimistic mindsets. Companies are 80% more likely to hire you because of your attitude, not your competence. I've heard great, very successful CEOs say the greatest competence cannot compensate for a bad attitude. If you're an athlete, and I work a lot with athletes, as you know, coaches are more likely to choose you because of your attitude. I'll give you a quick personal example. My daughter used to be an alpine ski racer. And when she was very young, she really wanted, and we as her parents supported her to go to the next level. So we live in southern New England where there's not big mountains. If she wanted to get to the next level, she needed to leave home at a very young age and move to, northern New England where there were big mountains, and she would go to school up there, and she would train daily, and she would have better competition, and she would be exposed to, just more, and to see what she had, and to take it as far as she wanted to take it. So when she was still skiing in southern New England, she would spend her preseason up in northern Maine at a camp for several weeks where she skied every single day, all day, and got ready for her season. Well, and she did this for a couple years. I think she was 9, 10, and 11 years old, and she did this. Well, it came down to crunch time for us, very much like college, where you have all of the academies and all the schools and all the coaches. They're on the names on the table, and you need to make a decision we needed to make a decision as to where she was going to go and where she was going to move and who she was going to race for. This particular coach, where she did all her preseason training with, sent us, her dad and I, a letter, a handwritten card, and in it he said, "I can teach Ashley how to be a better skier, a better racer, a faster racer, how to win. What I can't teach her is her competitive drive, her dedication to learning, her infectious positivity, and her fun spirit. That's ingrained in her mindset. And I've never seen a kid at her age have it like she does. Mindset is not only how you see the world and you see your life and you see others, it is also how other people see you. So how do you go from having a negative mindset, a pessimistic mindset, a glass half empty rather than full kind of mindset? Well, this episode, I'm going to share with you 10 ideas. So I wrote a lot of this down because what I find happening is that when I'm done recording and I'm just talking, I forget a lot of stuff, and I already need to do a part 2 to some of my episodes. So I'm going to be reading a lot, so I apologize about that. But I don't want to miss anything, because like I said, I really think this is the most important video because it really determines how you live your life. And to me, that matters. And to you, I would think it matters too, right? And that's why you're watching these. So 10 ideas how to change your mindset. Number 1 is accept that you need adjusting, that your thinking needs adjusting. So change of behavior is directly related to your change of mind. And change of mood is directly related to your change of mind. Denial, ignorance, that's not going to lead to change, right? Acceptance is going to. Make a choice to do better and be better. You might have had a painful or horrible beginning to your life, and that's maybe what led you to this point that you're at in terms of your mindset. But you and only you have a choice to have a good ending. This is your life. You only get one. We are not cats. We don't have 9 lives. You get one shot. So if you can accept that your thinking needs to change, you can get to the next 9. Number 2 is work through what led you here. Were you abused in your past? Were you hurt? Were you neglected or rejected? What circumstances have led to you having this negative, glass half empty kind of mindset? Work through your circumstances. Stop making excuses to not change. Stop making excuses for bad behavior, for negative, pessimistic mindset. There are plenty of people out there that are willing to help you heal. You know, there's family, you have friends, you have a church, there's therapists. Help is out there. And if you've had a good life, then you have no excuse for this negative mindset. Part of your healing should be to find meaning in the pain and from the pain. We learn our greatest lessons, not through victory, but through defeat. When we suffer, find meaning in that suffering, in that misery, in that loss, in that breakup, in that job you didn't get, in that day that didn't go as expected, in that unexpected, unwelcomed change. Find the meaning. That's the beginning of changing your mindset, of creating a different mindset. So an exercise that I might give you, if you were one of my clients, is to make a list of all of your disappointments and your losses and your hurts and write them down. And then next to them or underneath them, write out what lesson you learned from that. How that disappointment or loss or change changed your life in a good way, made a difference in a positive way. Dig deep, because if you have a negative mindset, this is going to be really hard for you. So, but it's crucial. And if you need to work alongside somebody to kind of give you ideas about how this loss and this change and this disappointment positively affected you, maybe that's what you need to do to start this process of finding the good in the bad. So work through what led you here. Number 3, positive affirmations. So I talk a lot about those in my visualization or guided imagery episode, and also in my episode about handling stress and anxiety and anger. So what are positive affirmations? They are short affirming statements or phrases that are used to challenge unhelpful or negative thoughts. I got this. I'm okay. I am in the right place at the right time, doing the right thing. I am enough. I am confident. The perfect moment is this one. I am strong. I am powerful. I can be whatever I want to be. Today is a phenomenal day. Do this more often. And actually, I have a chalkboard. I don't know if you guys can see this, but I have a wall that I made into a chalkboard, and on there, I try to do it frequently. Over the summer, I was doing a new message every day because my daughter was home. I've gotten lazy since she's left. I wanted her to see a different message, but I write down like a poem or like a phrase or a positive affirmation, a quote from a book or a quote from a movie or song lyrics. And this one I have up here says, have faith, have patience, God isn't finished yet. So make this a habit. You know, you might not have a chalkboard in the house, but you have paper and a pen. Write it in your planner, write it in your notes. Do more of this. Make it a habit and do constant check-ins with yourself. And I say this in my prior episodes too. That phone is a tool that is in that toolbox. Set a timer to go off throughout the day so that you are frequently checking in to assess what your mentality is, what your mindset is, what you are saying to yourself. Is it negative and full of self-doubt and pessimistic? If so, you need to stop what you're doing at that moment and flip that switch off. So very much like a light switch, we flick it up to turn the light on, flick the switch down, turn off that negative mindset, flick the switch up to turn on these positive affirmations. And when the alarm goes off, that's an opportunity for you to, like I said, assess and then flip the switch. Your mind, very much like a light, cannot be on and off at the same time. Well, your mindset cannot both be positive and negative at the same time. You need to pay attention to what you're thinking and make a decision to fill it with affirming thoughts. You are what you think, affirming thoughts rather than pessimistic ones. Repeat this every time your alarm goes off. That is an exercise that is very helpful. Number 4, to change mindset, be realistic. Change is part of life. Your life will be different. It will change as early as tomorrow. The world is different in 24 hours. The weather is different. Circumstances are different. Your mood might be different. What's going on around you and with other people is different. Change is inevitable. Loss is part of life. Heartbreak is part of life. Not getting what you want is part of life. If you believe in God, you know that these things happen to lead you to the path and to the place that you were meant to be. Remind yourself of that. And if you don't believe in God, remind yourself that everybody goes through loss. Everybody goes through heartbreak and change and not getting what they want. It's part of life. It is not just you and your bad luck. That is a negative mindset. If we have realistic expectations, then we're not going to be disappointed anytime and upset every time and anytime something happens. We're going to be realistic and know that at any time things can change. At any time we could, not get what we want or something bad happens, right? And then we're better able to handle it because it's not that we were expecting bad things to happen, but we expect that anything could happen. So another exercise that you can do when it comes to step number 4 of being more realistic is to also assess constantly what you are expecting. Set your timer again to go off another couple times a day for you to check in with yourself to see, what is my mindset? What am I expecting? Am I expecting anything? Or am I expecting exactly what I want all the time? Be open. And I'm not saying that, that you're not still getting upset or disappointed or having negative emotions when you don't get what you want or when bad things happen. I'm not saying that at all, but what I'm saying is that you can be more resilient if you have a realistic expectation about yourself, other people, and life. Number 5, visualize yourself in a different aura, with different energy, with a more confident posture, standing tall, head up high, with a smile on your face and a glow of love and hope and greatness in your eyes. Visualize yourself being great at your job, amongst your friends, on the stage, on your sports field, in your relationship, anywhere, doing anything all the time. I refer to this in my episode on guided imagery. I first teach you how to do just a pleasant imagery, but then there's this component of it where I fuel in and extract both, fuel in good things of greatness and extract what no longer serves you. To see yourself being great and having a positive, upbeat, uplifting, confident mindset, to visualize that can help make it a reality. Your brain and your body will become more comfortable being those things if you actually spend more time being those things. And during a relaxation technique like that, like guided imagery, a visualization, you are in a hypnotic state where your energy is more open to being different and to change those kinds of things. So visualize yourself doing it and having better energy and better aura. Number 6, fake it. Okay, so Kim Kardashian was never rich when she first started. She just acted like it. She bought expensive designer everything, right? And gave off this aura persona that she was rich and wealthy and confident and had it all, when actually she had nothing but huge amounts of debt. I'm not saying be Kim Kardashian, but the concept is pretty genius. Fake being confident, fake being happy, fake being upbeat, fake being social, or whatever you wish you could do better that you're not doing. Fake it until it becomes habitual and easy, or at least easier. Number 7, address your physical health. I sound like a broken record and I apologize. Sorry, but not sorry. The healthier you are physically, the healthier you will be mentally. So eat better, drink less, eat an anti-inflammatory diet, take your supplements, take your medication if it is prescribed to you, smoke less, drink less, they say that one, move your body more, exercise more, get yourself healthier physically so that you can handle this stuff better. Number 8, I love this exercise and I love doing this with people and I love reviewing this with my clients when they bring this back to me. Have the 5 closest people to you make a list of 5 adjectives that describe you, how they see you. Remember, mindset is not only how you see the world, it is how other people see you. So have 5 of your closest people write 5 adjectives down that describe you, or what they love about you, or what they think you're really good at. Sometimes we can't see the obvious because we're in our own heads until we can't see it until somebody else points it out to us. So I have a really good example of this. I have a client that I'm currently working with, and she's struggling at work. And, you know, in her descriptions of how she does her job and how she is at work, I pointed out the obvious to me, and that she was a really efficient person. She was extremely efficient in her job, especially, but just really efficient overall. And she kind of like gasped and like rolled her eyes and shook her head, and just, she had never heard that before. She didn't believe that in herself. She'd never even considered it, and she had never heard that before. And I pointed it out to her, and what happened is for the next subsequent weeks, she recognized in her life and at work all the times that she was being efficient, and she noticed it. And then she said to herself, wow, I'm actually being really efficient right now. And she came back to me with like more confidence, and she's like, I am an efficient person. Like, no kidding. I know, I see that in you. And that really made her feel a lot better, and that allowed her to be able to start this journey of realizing other things that she was good at. So again, you don't always know unless somebody else points it out to you. So words can be really strong, right? Like, we know this from when people have said bad things to us, or negative things, or critical things, or abusive things. We hold on to those, and sometimes we have that self-fulfilling prophecy where we become those things. Well, what about compliments? Let's put away the critical stuff, and let's focus more. Let's turn that switch on to the compliments that people give us. When somebody gives you a compliment, by the way, don't say, oh no, stop. What you say is, thank you. So here's an opportunity to get more compliments. Ask your 5 people closest to you to give you 5 compliments. And every time, and okay, I want you to read this list, and then I want you to, first of all, believe that this is how they actually see you, because you probably never considered some or all of these adjectives or this explanation that is on this piece of paper. I want you to recognize every time you are being that thing. So if somebody says you're efficient, I want you to notice every time you're being efficient and say to yourself, I'm being efficient. I am efficient. If somebody says you're kind, or you're a good listener, or you're a good writer, I want you to recognize every time you're being kind, or being a good listener, or being a good writer, and say to yourself, I am good at listening, writing, no matter what it is. This is what I want you to do, and I want you to pay attention to when it's happening, and give yourself a good job, and give yourself, repeat these words. I am kind, efficient, a good listener, helpful, loving, organized, a good cook, smart, whatever it is. Do more of that. That will only help convince you that you are those things, okay? And again, we are what we think. If we can replace negative thinking or critical self-thinking with more complimentary and acknowledging our good, that is a replacement in how we see ourselves. That is mindset. Number 9. Was that number 8? That was number 8. Number 9, and I love doing this one too. Pick 1 or 2 things that you want to be better at. Okay? Set a goal and develop a plan of action to be better at those 1 or 2 things. Without a goal or a vision, you're going to be more likely to accept just whatever. I don't want you to accept just whatever. I want you to want more for yourself, to want good things, and to only accept the good things. And I want you to succeed in those things that matter to you. Without a vision or a goal, you're just gonna, you're gonna succeed at things that don't really matter. In the end, when it's your final day of living, I want you to be able to look back and say, I'm proud of myself. I worked towards things. You know, Tony Robbins, and if you don't know him, you should follow him because he is really good at mindset stuff. But he says happiness isn't perfection. Happiness equals progress. It's when we set a goal and we have, objectives, a list of all the steps to reach that goal, that when we tackle step 1 and step 2 and step 3, that makes us feel good about ourselves. We feel like we're doing something worthy and we're moving in the right direction, and that in turn affects our mindset. So write down your plan, write down the goal, be very specific about your goal. Okay, if you want to get in better shape and you've never exercised, obviously you're not going to run a marathon right off the bat. You're going to set a goal, and there's this really cool program from Couch to 5K. I love that because it outlines individual steps of how to go from the couch to a 5K. If you want to go on more dates with your spouse, if that is your goal, if that's going to lead to a better relationship, what's ultimately going to make you feel better, outline what all your steps are. Well, I got to work through my fear about leaving my kid home alone. I have to start asking friends about who they use as babysitters. I need to put out there onto my Facebook friends or whatever, looking for a competent, qualified, trustworthy babysitter. I need to call some people. I need to have these girls or boys come to the house to play with my kids when I'm home so I can assess. I need to take the first step of going out for 10 minutes, whatever. There are clear, concise. If you want to become more organized, you're not just going to get more organized. You have to follow the steps. Start with your purse or your wallet or your car, right? Go slow, then get to your office, and then get to your closet. You just do, and then figure out a laundry day and follow that more specifically, and then get to a grocery list every week and just follow that. Do one thing at a time, master one thing at a time. When you do get to go to the next step, master that for a day or a week or 2 weeks. Master that, then get to the step 3 and step 4. Eventually, you will achieve your goal. That keeps us from thinking, woe is me in my life, nothing ever good happens, to moving forward with small steps changes our mindset. Number 10, and lastly, practice gratitude. Gratitude is the quality of being thankful for things you have in your life. Taking the time to reflect on those things and your successes. And maybe even if you're doing really well with this whole concept and you're really growing, gratitude is being thankful for what you don't have. It's about showing appreciation and returning and reciprocating kindness. It can decrease depression and anxiety, lower chronic pain, improve your sleep, your mood, and your immunity. Why? Because we are what we think. Just like I started this episode, because mindset is everything. Make it a habit. Journal these things daily. So the exercise in your homework would be, make a list of 5 things that you are grateful for every single day. Maybe before you go to sleep, before you do your visualization or your guided imagery, refer to my last session or my last episode. Before you do that, journal, write down in your notebook that you have by your bedside, working on yourself and working on your life, 5 things that you are grateful for that day. If you are looking for 5 things, you will find 5 things. The homework assignment I like to give to people when we're talking about this particular step in the process of changing mindset is I ask my client, what color car do you have? This is when they're not catching on to the importance of gratitude or seeing what you're looking for. I ask them what color car they have, and they're like, white. And I say, okay, your homework assignment between now and next time you come back is to count how many white cars that are out on the roads. While you're driving, look recognize and tally how many white cars. And they laugh. They're like, well, there's not that many white cars. Black is the most common color car. I don't think there's that many white cars. I never see white cars. They come back to me astounded, shocked, amazed. And they say, I cannot believe how many white cars are out there. They're everywhere. And I just laugh and I say, well, they're not, because black is the most common color car. But because you were looking for that, you found that. There you go. When you look for things to be grateful for and you hold yourself accountable every day for looking, when you look for them, you will find them. So those are my 10 strategies for changing mindset. Let's just go over those real quickly again. Recognize that you need to change. Work through the circumstances that led you to this negative mindset. Positive affirmations throughout the day, every day, for you to assess where your mindset is, what you are thinking, and flip the switch to think more positively. Be realistic. Visualize yourself with a better mindset, with more confidence, with a different, more positive, welcoming aura and energy about you. Fake it. Address and improve your physical health. Have the 5 closest people to you create a list of all the things that you're good at and recognize when those things are happening throughout the day. Pick 1 or 2 things to get better at. Have a goal with objectives. So that's always moving you in a positive direction of progress. And practice gratitude. Thanks so much for tuning in. Please subscribe and help me get to my goal, and enjoy the rest of your day.